Hello guys, today we will see about the lambdas. So how we can use lambdas in C++. So, so this is the syntax of the lambda. So you already know this is capture class and this is parameter list and this is body. Okay, so parameter first we will see parameter list. So this parameter list we can pass it in three ways. One is pass by value, pass by reference, or pass by pointer. Three ways we can do. So first I am passing it by value. Okay. So I am just printing a. Here also I am having a as 0. Here I am printing a. Here also I am printing a. Okay. Inside the lambda I am printing and after lambda I am printing, before lambda I am printing. Okay. So let's see what is the output here. Inside it I am just adding. So as you all know, passing by value, so this a won't have any effect, it's just passing the value. So here sorry, I am passing one, so I am passing a now. So it is having a copy of a and it is incrementing, so it is not having any effect outside the lambda. So now I am passing it as a reference. If I pass it as reference, here also it will be modified because I have passed as reference. And can be passed as pointer also. So pointer means here I need to pass address. So let's see, here also it is the same effect as reference. Okay, so this is what I need to say about the parameters. So we can pass it by value, reference or pointer. Okay, now let's see about capture class. So capture class is nothing but whatever variables available in the scope, it can be passed in this capture list. So here I am having a as 10. Okay, so I am having a lambda which need to add some number whichever it got. So here whatever number it is getting, it need to add it with a. Okay, so this is, and it need to print it. So if this is the function of the lambda, then we can just pass it as capture class, capture inside this capture list. Okay, so whatever number I am passing, I need to add it with a. So that is the goal of this lambda. So instead of passing it as a parameter, I can pass it inside the capture list. So if you see, I can able to add it. But so this is capture class. We can using comma separate. By using commas, we can add as many capture variables we needed in capture list. So if we want another variable b equal to 10 means we can pass b also. Okay, so here also we can pass it by value or reference. So if we pass by value, we can't change the a. Okay, if you see, if I do a plus plus, I will get error. It is read only variable. So if I do this is pass by value, so I cannot change. If I do pass by reference, So if I need to pass by reference, I need to add ampersand. So here B is passed as value and A is passed as reference. If I run this, I can able to modify it. So I will say why it is happening. So if it is passed by value means it can be modified. If it is passed by reference means it can be modified. So there are two ways. Whichever we needed in pass by value, we need to just give the name of the variable. Whichever we need to pass it by reference, we need to give ampersand before it. Okay, so if we pass by value, it can't be modified. So still if we want to pass it by value, but if it need to modify it means we can use mutable qualifier inside it. So if we do b++, now it can be modified. See, so now if you print a here, a equal to a and b equal to b. I'm just printing a and b. See, a is getting modified because it has passed by reference, and b is outside it is not getting modified, but inside it will be modified. So I will see what is happening. So since I have passed by reference outside the lambda function, it is getting modified. But here uh, I have passed by value, so a copy of b will be created and it will be modified. But if we remove mutable, the b cannot be modified inside the lambda function. So I will tell why it is happening. So as in previous video I have told, this lambda function will create a class in the background with uh, function called operator overload function. So a class will be created with the name will be compiler generated name will be created. A class with compiler generated class name. A class like this will be created. A class like this will be created, and this parameter will be passed for operator function called operator overload function. So operator overload function, operator this is the function called operator overload with parameter will be passed, and return type will be automatically returned by compiler. So here it is void, here return is nothing. So here the body will be this, and this function called operator overload function will be always created as const. So that's why whatever we have passed as value cannot be modified. So whatever we have given in this capture list, this will be these will be created as a separate member function. So here if you see there is a reference variable, so here also a reference variable will be created, and normal variable is there, so a normal variable will be created, and inside the constructor this will be passed ampersand a and b. This will be passed, and in the initialization list it will be assigned. A will be assigned with the underscore a and b will be assigned with b. Okay, so this is the exact class it will be generated in background when we write the lambda here. So if you see here, if we try to modify b means it won't modify because b is a this function is a constant function, so it won't allow the member variable to be modified. See, it's the same method we are getting. Okay, this is why. But how we are able to modify a here? That is one big question we will have. How we are able to modify a? Because it is a reference variable. See, reference variable is like a pointer. So it is like assigning. So while assigning this a, in the initialization list only we are assigning a reference variable. So this variable, assigning this different variable is not possible. Since this reference are already const by default, there is no issue. We are changing only the value inside it. So it's like constant pointer and pointer referencing to constant, similar thing. That's why the reference variables we are able to modify. So this is about um, parameters and capture list. So parameters we can pass it as either value or reference or pointer, and capture list we can pass it a value. If we are passing it value, we can't modify inside here because a const member overload function will be created uh, to make it modifiable inside the lambda. We need to make it mutable, and we can pass it as a reference. If you pass it as a reference, it can be modified. Then these are two ways we can pass variables inside capture list. Then if we are assigning this lambda to some variable, so what is the data type of the variable? So here we are declared as auto, so compiler will automatically detect, but what is the actual type? So actual type is std function. So in C++ 14 they have introduced C++ std function, and the template parameters we need to give. So here we need to provide the return type and the parameter list. So parameter list is int and the return type is void. So void inside parentheses we need to give the parameter list data types. So this is the data type of this lambda. So this is the data type of this lambda. Okay, whatever I have declared L. So if you see, it will also compare. This is the actual data type. If you don't use auto, we need to give like this. So actually function is inside functional header file. So we need to declare functional before. So there is some error, redeclaration of L. Okay. See, the output is same. If we remove this, we can give auto. So that std function is the actual data type of the lambda. So this lambda can be passed as a parameter to a function, and it can also be returned as a return type from a function, and the return type will be this std function, this template parameter. And if we pass it as a parameter to some function, and its type should be std function and template parameter. Okay, template parameter, inside that we need to provide the return type and parameter list. So this is about the data type of lambda.